Hi, everybody. So glad to see y'all.
Hi, Laura.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, everybody.
How everybody doing?
Good evening, Drone.
Good evening. Still trying to get it on my laptop.
Well, we
Can,
have.
can I say a prayer while we're waiting?
Uh, if you want to, we gotta say another one. When we
Oh,
start, unless you
okay.
want to wait. You
I'll
want to
wait.
wait and do the prayer? Okay. Okay. All right. I think I'm in. Your name.
Hey, Deron, we're recording. Just whenever you're ready, kick it off.
Hey, Justin, can you update that Zoom user to Cynthia on Bullet?
Yeah, I got it.
Thanks.
While we're waiting, I'll take the opportunity to welcome everybody home that's been papered up in the last couple of weeks. Just off the top of my head, that's Robert, Cynthia, Nick and Ashley on Garrett. That's about it. Congratulations, y'all. Thanks for being patient with us and welcome home. I yield.
Yay, congratulations, everybody.
Thank you, guys. Justin and if you guys can hear me, this is Nicholas and Ashley on Garrett. Justin, a special thanks to you, brother. You're the one that reached out to us first and kind of got us in line with Max and everything. So special thanks to you, Justin. Thank you, Belinda, for getting all the paperwork and stuff set up for us. We literally couldn't do it without you guys. I hope you realize how important you are.
Thank you, Nick.
Yes, I second that. Thank you, guys. This is Cynthia on Bullet.
Thanks, Cynthia.
Hello.
Welcome, Robert.
There we go.
So glad you papered up, Robert.
Papered up. Wait, I'm so glad I papered up. I'm so confused. Like a lot has changed since the last time in which that I was on a call here. And trust me, I'm more than happy to talk about the journey, if anybody's curious.
I'd like to talk to you again after.
All right, we got pretty much everybody on here.
Yeah, I'm doing a roster now as we speak. Robert, was that Owen County, my man? What county was you on, Robert?
Oh, I'm in Shelby.
Thank you.
I think that's the way if everybody's doing it this way. I added my name for you.
Anything I can do to help, Ron? You good?
Yeah. Y'all ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. All right. Like to start out, say that this is the Kentucky Assembly of men of all races, creed, who come together under a common agenda to resurrect our original organic government, restoring our common law rights, fulfilling our divine duties and responsibilities towards ourselves, our family, and our communities, to reflect a divine light outward into the universe. With this being said, I call the session into order. May I get a willing participant to lead us in prayer.
That's me. Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you. I thank you that our assembly is growing, and I just praise you. I pray that your spirit leads all of us and gives us the strength to do the task, the cup that you've put on all of us. And I just pray we find joy in the battle, and that I thank you that I believe we'll be victorious, and you've given me faith in that. And I just pray for a safer world and us to help provide that. And I just praise you in Jesus' name. And I ask that you be with all of us in this meeting to guide us in your will and what you need us to do. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. So, pull the screen up. Okay, let me do this entire screen. Yes, try screen share again. Can somebody assist me with this screen share? It says to share without.
You've got to click on your screen share button, and then another screen's going to pop up, and it's going to ask you to click on what you want to share. You click on that, and then you click share, and it should bring that up.
There you go. So right now you're screen sharing your Zoom. So you'll hit screen share. Here, let me have screen share real quick, Duran. All right. So
I'll stop it.
so all right. So when it comes up, it ain't gonna do what I want it to do. So Deron, you're gonna open up what you want to share on your computer before you hit screen share.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Okay. Sorry
that's all
about
right.
that.
Pick out what you want to share, then hit screen share, and then pick it and hit share.
Okay. Almost there. Okay. Inbox. Got it. View. Okay. Come back here. And then screen share. Okay, it's got entire screen. It got Windows or Microsoft Edge tab.
Microsoft Edge tab if you're
Or
wanting to
hit
share.
entire screen. Got it.
No, you want if your agenda's on Microsoft Edge, you want to bring up Microsoft Edge.
Somebody else's screen is sharing.
That's you sharing there.
And let me go out again. Okay. I got it on the screen that I want to share. Yeah, on screen share. Let me go back, make sure. Oh, let me do this. I might not be making it big enough, or maybe I am. Nope, nope, nope.
Are you trying to share the agenda?
Uh, uh, punch screen share.
Hey Merle, this
Always
is
share.
this is this is Charles. So something, how you doing, everybody? My name is Charles Burns. Been invited by Merle. Whenever you're sharing, let's say your Zoom call is on Google. Is on Google. Sometimes sometimes when you do screen sharing, screen sharing, uh, you can only do the full screen when you're trying to show stuff on Microsoft Edge, but you won't be able to see the Zoom. But the agenda will pop up if you click on the edge button. So right now you're sharing your whole screen. So if you have the agenda up on Microsoft Edge, you just want to click the Microsoft Edge button and or the tab.
Well, y'all see now? Okay, look at that. Okay.
You're sharing your email, and do you have the agenda open?
Oh, let me go to right here. There we go. All right. Can we get somebody to offer to read the Bivens decision?
You're not sharing the
Read it.
agenda. You're sharing your email at the moment.
Oh. How about this?
What's on there?
There
Okay.
you go.
Is that it?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll read it
All
for you
right.
if you want, Ron.
Oh,
Just
yes,
Sean
please.
here on Pulaski.
Hey, Sean.
This is the Bivens decision reading. This meeting is private. Bearing false witness, misrepresentation, and posting inflammatory rhetoric in public forums is forbidden and shall be addressed in an appropriate manner. To eliminate all conflict and false allegations, is there anyone in attendance at today's meeting that is a member or agent of any law enforcement agency or public agency of the federal, state, county, city, or township agencies present? Additionally, are there any U.S. citizens or citizens of the United States present? Anyone who is here under false pretenses? Anyone who is working for any foreign government, including the territorial United States or municipal United States, or anyone who is being paid or coerced to be here, must fully disclose their presence now and their purpose, or leave the premises. If they subsequently show up as federal witnesses, they are discredited for failure to disclose. I ask, is there any response to this Bivens decision? We ask the second time, will there be any response to this Bivens decision? For the third and final, will there be any response to this Bivens decision? Thank you. On the meeting decorum,
Go ahead.
please note that this meeting is for the General Assembly. There will be a question and answer session at the end of the call. Please keep the questions to general questions and not personal specific questions. There are meetings on Wednesday nights where more specific personal questions can be asked. Please mute until ready to ask for the floor by using the raise your hand emoji. And when you do ask for the floor, please state your first name and the county, as this will help ensure a better recording playback, as well as let everyone else on the call know who has the floor. Please be mindful when others are speaking. Please do not interrupt people who have raised their hand and asked for the floor. It is very important to address each other in a respectful manner and have courtesy when others are speaking. Thank you. The Kentucky Assembly values are as follows. We, the members of the Kentucky Assembly, consist of willing and able volunteers who donate our resources as much as we are able. We are self-governing men and women, conducting ourselves with honor, respect, integrity, peace, and love. We keep the peace and uphold the public law. We treat our fellow living man and woman in the same manner as we would like to be treated ourselves. Each one of us has rebutted in written form any corporate presumptions of who we are. Our documentations include an autographed name and seal. We continually study the paperwork process, the process of assembling, the plan for reconstructing our lawful government, our role as assembly members, and the role of the Federation, the United States of America, unincorporated. We are here to support through the assembly by working together with established committees, and then by bringing these ideas to the assembly for a final vote. We are honest, truthful, peaceful Americans who continued the effort started by the volunteers that came before us. We continually educate and improve ourselves. We better enabling us to help others to do the same. We refer to ourselves as Americans on the land and soil jurisdiction. We are either American state nationals or America's state citizens. The term sovereign citizen, however, is an oxymoron. A sovereign citizen is a mutually exclusive construction because one cannot act both as a sovereign and as a citizen at the same time. If any of us fail to conduct ourselves in a manner consistent with the values of self-governance, we will be given the opportunity to correct our mistakes. In this way, we help others to both keep the peace and to uphold the public law. And to this end, the ombudsmen are here to provide us with assistance and guidance. And if needed, the assembly will provide additional assistance and, where necessary, fair and just consequences for inappropriate behavior. Thank you.
Thank you. So we're skipping all this, correct? All right, old business. Coordinator report. Ron on Jefferson and or Tom on Shelby to provide updates. Outreach committee report. In need of someone who would like to take over the outreach committee. Librarian report. In need of someone to take over ombudsman committee and the librarian role as well. Marshal at Arms report. Booting up the militia now has meetings every other Wednesday. The brainstorming meeting on Wednesday nights will be every other Wednesday, sharing this meeting space with the militia. All committee leaders should reach out to Justin on LinkedIn to check the Zoom schedule in order to plan a meeting that needs to be recorded. He would like people to reach out via email to rent and or schedule a meeting space. Meetings will be scheduled for an hour and a half, but will allow 2 hours for a little bit of overage, just in case. You will need to let Justin know the date and time you are wanting in order to rent that time slot. Joe Hayes with PKTF, lots of new people, news and or development. Treasury report. Belinda on Bullet does have the Square account, but has not pulled any reports together as of yet. We'll have more updates on the next meeting. IT and or Tech Education Committee report. We do currently have 2 websites for the Kentucky Assembly. One is for outreach and the other is for status corrected people to stay informed, get meeting times, events, etc. Currently looking for someone with the skill set needed to update our websites and help with issues that may arise. We use WordPress and it's not difficult. Joe on Spencer has knowledge of WordPress and would be willing to do some training for anyone who would like to give it a try. Justin on LinkedIn also stated that there can be several people that could be on this committee, and he would be able to help with training as well. Laura on Jefferson would like some training on WordPress. Litigation Committee report. 0. General Assembly Committee report. Tom on Shelby to provide update. Recording Secretary report. The notary stamp are in, and we will all meet up to get the stamps delivered. Vetting report. Ray on Odom to provide an update. Secretary report. Belinda on Bullitt is taking over the treasurer role and will keep the secretary role until a replacement can be found. All right. We'll start new business. Coordinator report. Duran on Jefferson and Tom on Shelby to provide updates. Presentment before the Vatican Chancery Court attachment. The American Government Expanded Chart attachment. We have several newly status corrected people. Cynthia on Bullitt, Nick and Ashley on Garrett and family. Okay, for the coordinator report, we're going to start out. We're going to ask Tom to present his information that he received from the coordinator's Zoom. I think it was yesterday or the day before. Tom?
Hey everyone.
We have Tom. Hey Tom.
This is Tom on Shelby. Good evening, everyone. I listened to about 2 hours of Anna's webinar last night. A lot of information. The biggest thing that stuck out to me overall was her emphasis on education, making sure we're all on the same sheet of music and that we're doing our due diligence to be informed. She pointed out her website, which I thought was interesting and timely because it had a lot of information on her homepage, and so that to me was the biggest takeaway from the coordinator meeting was just her emphasis on a corporate knowledge set. And with that, I yield unless anyone has anything to add to that.
All right, thank you, Tom. I'll also add something to the coordinator's report. Let's see here. The Declaration of Providence changed. It is now information claim and notice of liability. Christy has a video on that. Also, they creating a system called DMS. It's designed to provide secure storage of information as your assembly is establishing the 4 pillars. For those that don't know the 4 pillars, number 1, General Assembly. Number 2, Assembly of Militia. 3, Jural Assembly in your courts. And 4, International Business Assembly. The DMS uses a Linux, Linux server with a Synology NAS file system that has version control, file sharing capability, ongoing backup, and upgrade of server facilities. We are using Synology Chat as a communication platform for facilitating discussions and strategy in support of the 4 pillars. The rollout of the new environment will replace Mattermost. Mattermost will no longer be accessible as of April 30th, 2024, as required by Anna Marie Renzinger. Pronounce it for me. Renzinger. Anyone?
Risinger.
Risinger. Thank you. Fiduciary. The DMS environment will only be available to those who are actively building the 4 pillars in their assembly. And the assembly will be responsible for requesting new accounts on the DMS. The request will either come through the coordinator team or a committee. Okay. I got a few other notes here that I like to share that was discussed. They discussed American State National site. It encourages that we go on TASA homepage highlights. A lot of information on there. Sovereignty declared. That's another site, if I'm not mistaken, and it has 5, 6 to 15-minute videos. They're very short and very informative. Someone shared a win with a woman who was seeking to give birth to her child without having to get a birth certificate. Let me read that. She wanted to do so without getting a birth certificate. She sent documents to 3 different hospitals just in case her home birth didn't work out. Okay, and she had to be rushed to the hospital. So at the point of her giving birth, the midwife couldn't complete the delivery, so they called an ambulance and took her to one of the hospitals that she sent the documents to. She ended up standing on her documents because the administrator came down trying to force her to get the birth certificate, and she ended up leaving the hospital with no birth certificate with her child. So that was a big success right there. Also, let me see what else I got. Let me say this. They point out that corporations have no authority over the people unless they can produce a contract. Article 6 in the final judgment of the civil orders is very informative. You might want to look at that. They also got a notice of default, Article 9. They got the ecclesiastical deed poll. They got primary security documents. And also I like to point out there's a file, Anna's file number 4672, speaks on not taking FRNs, and it's also a means to eliminate bills sent to you. Just want to point that out. And also for Laura, she might want to look into that new document, the information claim and notice of liability, because they're doing wonders with that in the courts. Okay, as far as dismissing cases and things. Okay. So that's all I got on the coordinated report. We got any questions? Or Tom, you got anything else based? Go ahead.
The links that I sent out today via email, those are all the links to the TASA websites. So if anybody got that email today, all the links that Duran was talking about earlier for the TASA website, all those links are on there. It's the link to the TASA website and then all of the different areas that's covered as far as what to do about giving birth onto the land and soil versus in the de facto, and then a lot of the links to those different forms that they were using. So all of that is in there. And if you all have any suggestions on what we send out next week, just let me know and we'll add those to the list. I did already add all the links that Justin's put into the chat. So those will be on the next grouping. Go ahead, Laura.
This is Laura and Jefferson. I just had a question. Duran said that the Declaration of Providence has changed. Does anybody have that documentation that they can share in the chat? Yeah.
I do not have the link handy, but it is on the documents that I sent out via email that you got earlier. It's on there. It's under affidavit.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I yield.
All right. We want to thank Belinda and Justin for providing the documents and the links. Wonderful job. Provides us with the opportunity to find a lot of things that we're looking for and become informed on the information that is available to us that we didn't know that was there. Okay. I encourage y'all to go on them sites and get in them links and get that information, because It is a saving power in it. I'm telling you, it's going to help us exercise our rights, our freedoms, and live a happy and joyous life. I am overwhelmed. Okay. With that, I yield the coordinator's report. I'll go to the outreach committee report in need of someone who would like to take over the outreach committee. This is Jamie Stranger on Spencer County, Kentucky. I wanted to show you a link that another ASN has created on Discord. He created a server to keep us ASNs connected and to share information. For when Matamo shuts down, I know the DMS is supposed to be up and running, but I don't know if everyone would be able to access it if they are not involved with setting up the 4 pillars. Anyways, here is the website. If you like to pass it on to others in our assembly, that would be fine. There's the website right there. We got anybody want to elaborate on the outreach committee report? Okay.
Yes, Justin. You don't mind?
Go ahead, Justin.
I just want to put a bug in everybody's ear that Tammy Healy on New Jersey has started back her podcasts, Getting to Know the Assemblies. She did one last week on Florida. I recommend everybody watch that. I'll put a link to that in the chat. And when you find that one, you'll find the channel on BitChute. And then also, Deron and I have been talking about getting that started on Kentucky too, with the outreach committee. So we'll put that. It's just pretty much like an interview for assembly positions, or we can structure it however we want. We just need to start the discussion on it as far as an outreach opportunity. I yield.
Thank you for that, Justin. Yes, we're thinking about starting a YouTube channel to promote this information, to get people informed so they can have a path to freedom. Okay, so we will continue. Librarian report, and either someone who would like to take over the ombudsman committee and the librarian role as well. And anybody step up and want to elaborate on the librarian report? Okay, we will leave that at that until we can find somebody. Real quick, I would like to encourage everybody to, if you like, and if you're motivated and inspired, to take on a position to help us fill the position so we can get our 4 pillars up and running and get our court established. So we encourage everybody to participate in order for us to move forward. Next is the Marshal at Arms report. Booting Up the Militia now has meeting every other Wednesday. The brainstorming meeting on Wednesday night will be every other Wednesday, sharing this meeting space with the militia. Excuse me. All committee leaders should reach out to Justin on LinkedIn to check the Zoom schedule in order to plan a meeting that needs to be recorded. He would like people to reach out via email to rent and or schedule a meeting space. Meeting will be scheduled for an hour and a half, but we'll allow 2 hours for a little bit of overage just in case. You will need to let Justin know the date and time you are wanting in order to rent that time slot. Joe's Hayes with PKTF. Lots of new people, news, and development. Justin?
Yeah. So I just put the American Assembly podcast in the chat. That link is to they interviewed the Florida coordinator, Ralph. So that's what I just mentioned a minute ago.
Is Justin available?
Yeah, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you, Justin.
Yeah,
Okay,
we got you.
Okay, thank you. So that's in the chat. I encourage everybody to check out that podcast series. Kentucky was interviewed. At the time, it was just myself and Joe Hayes. So there is opportunity to reach back out to Tammy on New Jersey and schedule another interview with Kentucky now that we have more people on board that are serving the populace through the assembly. So I wouldn't mind reaching out to her if anybody wanted to get in touch with her as far as an outreach. We do have the militia meeting coming up this Wednesday. Let me check it, make sure I'm right on that. I believe it's the militia meeting this Wednesday.
Who was on the meeting last week? Does anybody remember? I thought the militia meeting was last week.
We did not talk about militia last week.
All right. So
Okay.
militia this week.
Right. I'm trying to get to the schedule, but I can't do it. Y'all bear with me just a second.
Take your time.
So yes, it is the militia booting up the assembly meeting tomorrow. I'm copying the invitation and putting it in the chat right now. And that's only for status corrected Americans. They didn't let me do it. But I would like to talk about the Wednesday night brainstorm meeting for a second. There's been discussion about how productive that meeting is. It might be productive for individuals as far as getting on there and brainstorming ideas, but unfortunately it does take away from the assembling process. So is there anyone willing to step up and kind of moderate that meeting?
Anybody want to moderate the brainstorm meeting?
I nominate Bob.
Is he willing to do that?
Sure.
Okay. Well, we'll keep it
Thank you,
going one
Bob.
week. We'll keep it one more week, but that call's taken away from our committee structures. We have committees established, but we're not getting any meetings going to be able to further any movement on the assembly. So I put it out there or the week before last. I took a week off, but I put it out there the week before last that any committees, anybody that wants to lead a committee or wants to moderate a committee meeting, reach out to me at my email. It's in the agenda, at the top of the agenda, Marshall at Arms email, and let's get some committee meetings established or going. We have an oversight committee that's been established, but no meetings yet. We really need some type of committee to help with the assembling process, help our coordinators out. That's about all I've got to say on that. So
Okay.
we'll give that yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
We'll give that brainstorm meeting one more week to produce anything. But it's like I said when I created it, somebody asked me to have it created, but I mentioned or spoke at the time that I would because it was a request. But we need to make sure that what's being talked about brainstorming is brainstorming on how to further assemble and not just, take away from that by talking about individual stuff. Now, I understand everybody has individual problems going on, but I highly encourage that to be done outside of the Kentucky Assembly assets. What I mean by that is this Zoom platform is paid for by the Kentucky Assembly, and so it really needs to be for Kentucky Assembly functions. Anybody that needs help getting established on Zoom and getting an account and starting up their own meetings or having a little chit chat, that's totally fine. We can't, that's on the individual. But with this asset here, we need to kind of keep it assembly focused. So that's about all I've got to say on that one. That was a request put out to me, so I thought I'd mention it.
Can I say something? Last week, we only had 3 people and no leadership. So the brainstorming meeting, it was all about ourselves, because it lacked leadership, I guess. And I don't know, I would motion to just keep it for militia and maybe not brainstorming. Let's just keep it a weekly militia meeting.
That sounds good to me. Do we have somebody willing to moderate the militia meeting? I watched the militia meeting last week, and it was a very good, informative meeting. I gained a lot from it. I learned a lot from it.
Hey, Justin, Nick's got his hand up.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Nick.
I was going to say I'm highly interested in, standing in the pillar, or at least helping stand at the pillar of the militia up. So I could definitely moderate the meetings. Just let me know when and where and how to access it. I yield.
Thank you, Nick.
Thanks, Nick.
Yep, thank you, Nick. I am trying to get that into the chat. But what I'll do is when I get some free time during the call tonight, I'll go ahead and generate an email with that link in it. And just send it out to everybody like I did this meeting tonight. And that way all the newly status corrected and everybody that's been status corrected for a while will just get a refresh on that link, because I'm looking, that link's good for this week. It's good for 4 more weeks. So the link I'm getting ready to send out is good until May 22nd, but that's alternating weeks. So I guess without bringing a motion, everybody's good with just going straight militia on Wednesday nights?
Yes.
Okay. Duran, Duran, you good with that?
Yes, I'm good with it.
Okay. Then I'll change that link up tonight. I'll take it and I'll just redo it. So the links that you all have for the militia meeting, just kind of do away with it, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new recurring link so that the meeting will happen every Wednesday instead of every other Wednesday. All right. And so
Okay.
Nick, not tying you into anything, but since you stepped up to maybe moderate that meeting, what that means is just simply be there and kind of help control decorum as it goes along. Make sure everybody's heard, that type thing.
I got it. Throw me in there.
Okay, buddy. So that's the plan, everybody. That recurring link you have for both the Monday night, or beg your pardon, the Wednesday night brainstorm and the Wednesday night militia, just kind of do away with that. And at the closing of this meeting, I'll get one recreated and send it out. It'll be a recurring meeting for every Wednesday, and that'll be our new militia meeting night. All right. Thank you, everybody, with their input on that. And again, just reiterating that if you would like the General Assembly, we've got opportunities for committees within that: litigation committee, welcoming committee. You have my email. If you need to schedule meetings, just reach out, tell me what day, and we'll get you on the schedule. Now, when you reach out, I'll send you the link, and you can disseminate the link to whoever needs it within your committee or within your pillar. All right. And then that's about all I have.
Okay. That's it.
That's it.
Okay. Thank you, Justin.
Thank y'all.
To add to what Justin said, I've been thinking about having a meeting on Saturdays. And I like to use that meeting as an opportunity to bring us together, you know, as we do our research, where we can come and share what we learn. Because I believe as man sharpen man, as woman sharpen woman, as steel sharpen steel. You know, if we sharpen each other, we can help prepare each other, and which thus prepares the assembly for us to be equipped with the right knowledge in order to be more effective in exercising our rights and fighting against the corporation when they come at us. Because we need to know what to do, how to do it, what to file, how to file it, and when to file it, et cetera, et cetera. And I think it's important that if we spend time together, you know, going back and forth with our information, sharing, that, you know, we can build our strength. Okay. So I will open up the floor for any questions in the martial arms report before I continue.
Jerron, I'd be interested in basically seconding that idea for a meeting. I mean, to discuss a few things, you know, outside of just basically everything here. I mean, just like you said, to go ahead and talk amongst, to sharpen our skills. Mm-hmm. And share different perspectives and different ideas. So I do agree with that.
Okay. Thank you.
Sean Pulaski. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Look at it like this. We all teachers and we all students. So let's teach each other and let's learn from each other. Okay. If no more questions on the martial arms report, go to the treasury report.
I had my hand raised.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Before you speak, whoever can, between Belinda and maybe Justice, can y'all let me know if hands is raised so I won't skip nobody? Thank you. Go ahead. Was that Laura?
Yes, Laura on Jefferson. I'm just curious about getting a litigation committee going. I don't feel comfortable to lead it. I'd feel comfortable to be on it, or maybe call it a brainstorming litigation, since, you know, we really need that. And with that, I yield.
Okay. Thank you for that, Laura. And we would definitely take it up on advisement.
Robert on Shelby has his hand up.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, so I appreciate that, and just kind of goes back to everything you guys were saying, is like meeting outside the confines of what is conducted during this meeting. I'm all for it, guys. I'm all for being able to coach you in like, and not even coach you, but just like brainstorm together open-mindedly to give you some different perspectives on the way to go about things, right? So there's 10 million different ways to skin a cat, but I'm more than happy to shed some insights and tell about some experiences that I've had along the way. So I yield.
Right. Thank you. Also, as far as what Justin was talking about, as far as the expenses for a Zoom, from my experience, Zooms they're not that costly. And if anybody would like to donate, particularly for the Zoom meeting, so we can open up and have the necessary meeting for us to brainstorm, litigate, you know, share knowledge, get instructions by those who are more learned than us to equip the rest of us to be able to be just as effective in our pursuits of exercising our rights and protecting our freedom.
May I
Okay.
speak, please?
I didn't hear that.
This is Justin on Lincoln. May I speak on this?
Yes, go, Justin.
Okay, so this is a General Assembly meeting. Whenever there's a concern expressed, we as self-governing men and women coming together as a self-governing body of politic, if there is a need, we create a committee for that need. Right? I'm not telling anybody what to do. I'm just putting it out there as guidance as best I can. If there's a need on the assembly by the populace, this is where that need comes to. The need is being expressed for some type of meeting or some type of committee to where people can get on expressing ideas. So with that being said, there's always opportunity to create that in a committee structure, get that problem solved, and then that committee can sunset. Just because we create the committee doesn't mean it has to last and last and last. We work by pretty much common sense and what's right and what doesn't work. So we create, if we have a need, we create a committee to tackle that need, discuss it, and then make it work for the populace. And then that, like I said, that committee would sunset. Forgive me if I step on any toes. I'm not trying to, but that's what the committee structures are for. And so we need people to step up and lead those committees. We can't just have brainstorm meetings after brainstorm meetings. I'm sorry, but we just can't. It's like I said, if you want to do that on your own time, you're more than welcome to. I mean, you don't need my permission to do that. You didn't need my permission to do status correction. You don't need my permission to do any of it. But I am here trying to build the assembly, and we need committees to be able to do that. And the committees are housed within the pillars. So we have a General Assembly pillar established, which all the other three pillars are built from. So, you know, I just encourage everybody to do their research on the assembly structure and that things of that nature. And then we can all progress, like Duran's saying, as the assembly. I yield.
Okay. Question, Justin. Is there a committee? Because I don't personally know all the committee responsibilities and what it consists of. Is one of the committees that we need up and running where we can incorporate what we're trying to do within that committee?
I have orientation PowerPoints that I would love to share with somebody that can go over them, and then have an orientation class like bi-weekly, because that we all need to be on the same page. I know we've all taken different journeys to get here, and we all have stories. It's not like one of us has an outstanding story over another one, or any of us are more versed in self-governing than another. So, you know, welcoming committee would be perfect. Just like David expressed 2 weeks ago, David Casimos on Kenton County, when he did this, he felt alone. He didn't have nobody to talk to about doing their notices to the IRS, to the Secretary of State of the U.S. Corporation, to the Kentucky Secretary of State, you know, that type stuff. A welcoming committee would be a good one. We always need an oversight committee. That way, if anything goes wrong within any other committees or any other pillar, we have people to look into that, solve that problem. An assembling committee. There's all kinds of stuff. That's the wonderful thing about our system. If there's a need, we create it, we tackle it, and then we either keep that committee or sunset it. So to answer your question, we have committees set up, but they're just sitting stagnant. Nobody to run them.
Okay. Suggestion, and you made a major point about people filing documents, and I think we going to different people personally and asking questions. If someone is asked a question, I'm not saying don't answer it, but let's use one of the committees we have and set up a meeting and let everybody know that this would be discussed on this meeting. And 9 out of 10 times, there's going to be a few people that's going to need that information. So
Right.
that will promote getting it going.
And hopefully we can start building a repository of information to where as one or two people go through it, we can save that information and start spreading it out within that welcoming committee, so to speak, whatever we want to call it. But, you know, as new people come onto the land and soil, Anna's been recommending it a bunch here lately, and Tom mentioned it at the beginning of the coordinator report, that she's hammering really hard on education right now. So part of that education is orientation into what we're trying to do. A lot of people come into us thinking that it's a get out of jail free card, or it's a silver bullet, but it's not. The status correction paperwork is just for our standing in provenance. It's for your standing in provenance as a man or a woman. But when we bring it into this function as an assembly, then that's what gives us our standing in provenance as an assembly. So, Anita, your hands up.
Yes, this is Anita on Mead. I was just going to ask if all the new people here tonight, if you might put in the chat the Iowa Assembly. She's always reading different Jural committee meetings and a lot of information, and the Indiana Assembly. And I think Laura put on the Arkansas Assembly, but there's a lot of assemblies out there that already, have the information as far as the jury and the litigation. It's all out there. You just have to find it or listen to it, because a lot of information. I yield.
Thank you, Anita. All right, let us continue. We're going to go to the Treasury report. Belinda to provide an update. Belinda?
Yes, I'm gonna share my screen real quick.
Okay, so that means I got to get out of the way, right?
I think I might be able to take it. Nope. I gotta wait until you stop sharing.
I got to stop, right?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Can you all see it?
Yeah.
Pulaski, yes, I see it.
Okay, so right now we have $432.15 in our Square account. And then I have 200 cash, and then we have $28.16. Justin, did I put that in there right?
Yeah, that looks good.
Okay, so we have a total of $2,660.31 currently. And then we also have 10 Troy 2-ounce silvers. So that's what we currently have on hand. And then this is just a report for the year. This is how much we have. $809 is what we have accumulated in invoices that we have sent to people. And then this is, of course, all of it is cards, because we can't put cash into the Square account. But then this is all of our invoices for the different items that we have. Most of these are going to be for publishing and recording. We do have a couple of background checks and the notary stamps. Everybody did pay for their notary stamps, and then of course we paid for that out of this. And then priority postage and things along those lines. But that's pretty much everything that has occurred since the beginning of this year as of January. So again, this is what we currently have on hand at the moment, which is $2,660.31. Does anybody have any questions?
What's the 10 Troy and 2 silver?
It didn't put my point in there. It's like the 2-ounce silver. Is that right, Justin?
I think that, yeah, it's just 10 troy ounce. So I think that should be ounce.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. Like, so it would be 10.0. Is it like 10 troy or 10.02 troy ounces of silver?
It's 10 troy ounce silver. It's a 10 gram bar or 10 ounce bar. The 10 ounce bar. Like you would just buy to it and go on a silver or a bullion dealer and buy a bar. It's a 10 troy ounce bar.
And so, yeah. And something that I was going to say, just moving forward for the group collectively, and this goes for any situation that you're in life, whether it's business, personal, whatever. When you confuse, you lose, right? You lose the other person's interest in these other things. So, like, if we're clear in all of our communication, everybody's on the same page at all times. I yield.
Does anybody else have any questions on the treasury report? Okay, with that, I yield on the treasury report.
All right. Thank you, Belinda. Oh, did it again, huh? Let me go back. There we go. I'm getting good at this. All right, we're going to the next session, IT and/or Tech Education Committee report. We do currently have 2 websites for Kentucky Assembly. One is for outreach and the other is for status corrected people to stay informed, get meeting times, events, etc. Currently looking for someone with the skill set needed to update our website and help with issues that may arise. We use WordPress and it's not difficult. Joe on Spencer has knowledge of WordPress and would be willing to do some training for anyone who would like to give it a try. Justin O'Lincoln also stated that there can be several people that could be on this committee, and he would be able to help with training as well. Laura Jefferson would like some training on WordPress. Got somebody to represent the IT Tech Education Committee report.
We have Jamie with his hand up, and then we have Nick and Ashley after Jamie.
Okay.